Alright, back on the bench tonight. I have the Creampuff, which I just finished, like I want to say 2 weeks ago, just before Christmas anyway. And these 1402 motors that I put on here are just not cutting it. So what I'm going to do tonight is I'm going to swap these out for some 802s, which are ridiculously tiny by comparison. But first we got to get these 14s off of here, and let me see if I can find my 8s. I have them here somewhere. Oh yeah, the Emax Tiny Hawk S motors. Those are what are going on in place, and they're friction fit, so we have to we're gonna have to figure out our prop situation, if we're still gonna run 3s or if we're gonna run something else. I think this is gonna be way too much prop for this little motor to turn. I may end up going with a bi-blade. I think a 3-inch bi-blade is probably going to work a whole lot better for this this quad than these tri-blades, because these are, what are these, 30, they're like 3040s or 3025s. I can't even read. 3 by 2.5 by 3R, you know, so they're pretty seriously stout props, and they're fine for these 14s. The 14s really don't have a problem turning them. It's just that you get about a minute. That's what you get flying this thing on like a 5.5 or 550 or 650 1S. It's, everything should in theory work on 2S, but I'm not gonna risk it. I'm just gonna keep this thing a 1S build, and excuse me, jeez, burping up a storm tonight. I'm gonna keep this a 1S build, and just swap these for the much smaller, much lighter. we should go. Actually, let's figure out. Let's do a before and after weight, because I don't think I've done that before. Before and after on this guy. So we're at 0, and this guy comes in at 59 grams. So we're going to be swapping out these motors, which are, geez, that's not a lot of wire, is it? This is the first time I've actually really looked at these motors. Holy cow. Yeah. So, not a whole lot of wire there. But I do have a little bit of race wire. And I do have some wire I could solder this up to. It's very stiff wire. Almost feels like solid wire. Is it solid wire? It might actually be solid stranded or solid wire. Yeah, 3 grams. That's what, and these guys are like 8 grams each, something crazy like that. So we'll have to figure out what we're going to do here. So where were we at? We were at 59. So just like it sits, and we'll turn this guy off, and we'll get this torn apart. Yep. Either way, has to be done. Has to be done. So let's remove our props first. Get them off there. All the props. Yeah, I was really hoping that this quad would fly just a little better than it did, but it these motors are just too heavy. The whole quad is too heavy. It's too much for 1S. Make sure we're still recording. Good. And yeah, I mean, otherwise it flew great. You'll see some flight footage of it in my other video if you want to go look at it. But it's just not. It's not good enough. It's not what I wanted from it. I wanted like kind of an ultra light almost. These motors were, I knew these motors were heavy. Don't get me wrong. It's just, it's what I had available at the time. I thought, oh gee, it would be fun to do something with these motors that have just been sitting on my bench for so long. And you know, this wasn't really a bad choice. It just wasn't a very good choice. Now a 2S build, which I'm going to run these on the Ripsqueak, so you'll see these again in another video. But I have plans to run these motors on the Ripsqueak with these same props because it's a 3-inch build. So that should be a lot more interesting, I think. At least I hope so. Alright, coming down to it. Get out all 16 screws. I really should have just done a couple, a pair in each one. But yeah, I mean, it moved, it flew, it did its thing. It wasn't even all that bad a flyer, honestly. It just these motors just made it so heavy. I mean, it just weighed it down so much that you couldn't really. I mean, you had a minute. That's what you had. Didn't matter if you what battery you were running on. You had a minute, and a minute just really isn't long enough to enjoy flying. You're always watching the clock. You know, you can't just get in and fly it and have it be fun. It's always, oh, how much time do I have left? Oh, and you know, when just hovering it gets it down to like 3.7 volts from 4.2 or 4.3, you know, whatever your starting voltage is. You know, that's when you know, gee, maybe it's too heavy. And it was way too heavy. So, but it'll be absolutely perfect on a 2S 450 build. You know, get some a proper 12 amp ESC behind it to get it up in the air, and it should fly real nice on that Ripsqueak frame. So we'll see how it does when the time comes. I am hoping for the best with those. And alright, we've got the soldering iron already warmed up tonight. Clean off the tip and tin it just a touch, and then we'll start moving these one at a time. Alright. Make sure you can see everything. Of course, no sooner do I touch the TPU, you know, it's like, hey, let's get started. TPU. One free. Oh, come on, quit touching it. 2. Goodness. Alright, one side done. Okay. Alright, come on. Stay where you are. I think I had this thing clamped in my vise last time. I might do that again. Yeah, I may end up using the race wire after all on this guy. Okay, motors are free. Let's see if we can find a spot for these guys. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Toss all these guys in here. Willy-nilly like. Probably just freaked everyone out. Alright, set those over there for the next build. And we will get this guy over here. Where's the baggie? There it is. Jesus, these screws are tiny. Yeah. Tiny. I've actually never done anything below, let's say, an 11. This is my first, like, 8 anything. Are these, yep, Phillips. Are they all Phillips? They do appear to be all Phillips head. Oh, Phillips head, where are you? Alright, that might be a bit too big. And that is not the right Phillips head. Well, no matter what, I have something. Might work. This guy. Oh yeah, that'll work. Vera, or Vera, whatever. I'm sure it's German. It's probably Vera. Something close to that anyway. Yeah, so this guy is clearly not long enough. So what I'll do is I'll grab some race wire. Is this race wire? This is LED race wire. Do I have any regular non-LED race wire? Got these guys. LED, blue, green, blue, and blue. Then I have this stuff. This stuff is wide. Let's try this, because I've never used it before. And why not start now? Okay. Green or blue? Green, blue, green, blue. We'll go with green. Okay. Let's cut this one open. Alright, let's see if I can break this without destroying it. Alright, one off. 2. Alright. And 4. There we go. Is there a directionality to this stuff? Fire. So what we'll do is we'll mount that right there. A little bit of double-sided sticky. And then we'll run this guy to there, and this I'll run up to there. Alright. Let's tin some race wire, shall we? Jesus. Tiny fucking pads. Let's make sure. Okay, yeah, that'll work. Alright, everyone. Pay close attention and watch me fuck this up. Okay, one down, I guess. It's a good thing I have spares, right? In case I really fuck this up. Okay. Goddamn tiny ass pads. You know, I'm gonna go blind working on shit this small. Oh, stop. Just stop. Okay. Okay, 4. I've done 4. Let's mount this guy first. Yeah, I think that's how I'm going to do it. Holy cow. I can't hardly see this stuff. This video really wasn't supposed to take this long. But it is what it is, you know? You can't really rush this. I mean, I could rush it and fuck it up. Okay. Alright, I'm going to snug you down right there. I apologize if you can't quite see this, because neither can I. Okay, here we go. All right. Shit. All right, I guess that's on there. That's fucking tiny. All right. Now, we want something like that. Yeah. So what I'll do is I'll come and grab this guy. Okay. Yeah, so wow. I'm trying to get the sheathing off this wire. And damn it if it isn't fighting me. I mean, god damn. Alright, well, let's tin them. Okay. And then I guess anyone will do. God damn, this is tiny. Okay. Oh, shit. Alright, let's try it with that little bit of blue tack under there. Alright. I don't know how exciting this video is going to be, because this is some tiny ass shit right here. Wonder where my other Alright, I'm going to take a break here. Alright, I've tinned a couple wires here. I'm going to try to get them on these pads. I might need to take just a hair off. Alright. Here we go. And I checked them best I could with my multimeter, but you know how hard it is to check. Okay, 1. Okay. 2. Okay. All right. That looks okay, actually. Better than the other side does. Okay. So, now we take the blue tack off. Yeah, that's another little trick. You take blue tack, it gets hot, right? It becomes all stringy and gross. If you just dab with it, once you lift it off, it works a whole lot better to get it clean. Okay. I'd be lying if I said I was happy with that, but I'm not disappointed. No. No. Ah. Double-sided permanent tape. Stick it down, cut a strip about yay wide. Okay, and then we stick it down on top. Yep, like so. Actually, wait. Let's go ahead and do the third one. All right. These guys are ready to be tinned slightly. Okay. Let's see if I can get these guys to stick on here like they're supposed to. One. Two. Three. I guess that'll work, right? Let's hope. Yeah, sorry, this isn't a very exciting video. I'm just not doing a bang-up job of this, I'm guessing. But, you know, I've never ever worked with anything quite so goddamn small. You gotta be shitting me. Did I lose? Is it stuck to something? Like the blue tack. Alright. I'm going to take all these little screws, set them back in here. I'm going to take this little end, set it back in here. Okay. Somewhere along in here, I've managed to misplace one of the LEDs. Ha. Found it. All right. One at a time, one at a time. Not a rush. Yeah, this should fly moderately better. Let's get the motor on. We'll do it just like we did the last one, I think. Should be a little bit easier this time around. He says, jinxing himself horribly. You know what? Forgot all about this one. Alright, let's get you positioned approximately and then snug down just slightly. And I'll work in the other two. Forgot about my iFixit screwdriver. That was for, I think it was old phones. I mean, phones nowadays use smaller screws than this. It's crazy. Nobody really thinks about screws anymore. You know what I mean? Like, screw. It's just a screw, right? Well, 100 years ago, screws weren't just screws. They required a lot of engineering to make screws. But now machines do it all. Oh shit, did I just strip that? Let's hope not. Let's hope not. Okay. Yeah, screws used to be, you know, a serious engineering challenge for, you know, for any manufacturer. Like, where do we get our screws from? How do we make them? Finally, somebody created a machine to make screws. Spins them up, stamps them, does the task of threading. It's crazy. You should watch how things work, or how things are made, how it's made. That's what it is. It's good. I mean, you don't think about screws at all. That's how ubiquitous screws are. It's like, oh yeah, it's screwed together. I don't really understand that there's a shitload of engineering behind screws. Alright. Uh-huh. Come on off there. Oh, that didn't go according to plan, now did it? Okay. Let's not fuck up like that again, shall we? I don't know what these things are coated in, but Jesus Christ. Let's see if I can slice my finger open. Alright. When in doubt. Right. I'm going blind. Okay. Okay. Just gotta take more than you think you need. That's all that there is to it. Sorry if you can't see this. I'm just trying to see it. Okay. Alright, fine. It's sorry. This is probably terribly boring to everyone. Okay. And we want our little blob. And then we want this guy positioned about like so. Alright. Reckon that's good. Let's get a couple more of these guys. What about a big? Yeah, this is 30 gauge wire. I got it off of Amazon. Just Google 30 gauge silicon wire. And unfortunately, this stuff has a bit more rubbery sheath than I'm used to. It's got... It just doesn't want to separate very well. And then, so you got to choose. I'm going in about 2 or 3 millimeter. When I pull off, I'm expecting about 1 millimeter to come, but between 1.5 and 2, so it seems to be coming off. It's hard to do anything less. Let's see here. Can I fix this? Yeah. All right. Come on. There we go. That one looks good. Let's do number 2. Oh, come on. That one has like no solder on it. Okay. Okay, I think that's got that one. And now for number 3. Oh, come on. Let's get you retinned. All right, I think that one's got it too. Where'd our little piece of tape go? Did we lose our little piece of tape? Probably. All right. Lay it down, cut a little sliver. Let's stick that to this arm. Lift it up. God, I hope these things aren't directional. I'm gonna be pissed if I find out I fucked all this up. What can you do though? Okay. Done. 2 down. Sort of. Okay. Let's come over. Snip it. Right about there. Okay. Let's do the middle one. Come over. All right. Let's get the first one. Middle one. Do this so that it's in shot. Okay. And the last one. Oh, come on. Okay. Good. Let's see if I can fold these a little bit differently so that they're not so stressed on the wire. Yep. Yeah, like so. All right. 2 down. Where are we at? We're at like an hour, aren't we? It takes like 30 minutes to do one of these fucking things. Well, I think we're there. I think we've got it all buttoned up, hopefully. All that remains is to check it, and what I'm going to do here is continuity check on the positive and the negative. And all this really tells us is if I bridged something accidentally while I was working, and yeah, that's really all it's for. So far, looks good. No issues with that. Found that other piece of tape I lost. Anyway. Good. All right. So that wraps that up. I am going to get this hooked up in Betaflight, make sure they're all spinning the right way, and then the next footage you see should be me test flying it with the new props, because I don't think that these 3-inch props on this little guy is really fair to it. I don't think that these 1550 kV are really up to the task. So yeah, we may end up going down to something even smaller. I don't know yet, but yeah, I think that I can get a 3S. I'm sorry, a 3-inch prop. Actually, let's see what we got. Let's see what we've got. Yeah. No. Ah. Are these? Come on, open. There we go. These are. I think these are probably going to be the ones to use. So if we go props out on this guy, that's going to be it right there. It's still a 3-inch prop. It's just a little bit different. Yep, I think that's going to work. Yeah, let me take this off and then go check it out on the bench, and we'll come back and do an all-up weight check. Actually, I can do that right now, can't I? We can actually see what our dry weight was before and after. Let me clean up for a second, and then come on, there we go. Yeah, there. Blue tack everywhere. Little rubbers everywhere. All right. So it definitely feels lighter. I mean, like a lot lighter. Like night and day lighter. You know what I mean? Like, holy cow. I might just get 2 minutes out of this lighter. So, as I recall, we were 59 grams? 32. Yeah. 33. 32, 33 grams. Yep. Let me find my with a 450, which is 11, and then 45 grams. That's actually really, really good. This thing ought to fly great now. I should get at least 2 minutes out of this. At least 2. Maybe even more. On the 650, which is what, 13, 14, 15 grams. What's that? 46. That can't be right, can it? It's got to be closer to 50. Yeah, actually, I'm an idiot. I'm not even weighing the props. 47. 34, 47. With the 450, 45. Good. So the props aren't adding much to the overall. Now if we go down to a, I don't have the 220s in here anymore. But I think that's going to do it for this build. I'm excited to fly this thing. I mean, it was a little sluggish with the others, but yeah. Let me go get it all set up. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next build. So I recorded some video of the Creampuff flying around the basement, and it flies okay. I'm not sure I found the right prop combination to the battery weight. So I discovered that the 450 milliamp hour batteries were probably the best for their weight to power, I guess is probably the best way to say it. I was getting about 1.5 minutes flying around with those 400. On the 650s, I get a minute. On the 300s, I get about 1:15. So there's kind of a funny little performance gap there. I also played around with a couple of different props. One of the first ones you see here, and I put all this at the top of the video, so if I misspeak now, trust the top of the video. The 65 millimeter two-bladed prop. This is just a generic prop you get from Beta FPV or whatever. I think I got these when I got my hum quad, the HX100, and they flew okay on that. These are 0802 motors, so the comparison, it's not exactly 1-to-1, but they got around. I did 1:23 there. Here I've switched it out for some 2035s. So these are 2-inch props. The 65 millimeter are closer to 2.5-inch, almost 3-inch props. So here you're seeing just sort of the even on the 450 here, this performed much better than the heavier batteries did. So regardless of size, either the 4-bladed 2035 or the 2-bladed 65 millimeter, I think the 450 milliamp hour pack really kind of flies the best. And these had sort of a weird prop wash thing going on, where they kind of, you can see it vibrating in the video, and I have no idea what was causing that. These props were given to me with a big batch of stuff that I got, so it just it's not really a fair comparison. They're not an aim-bearing prop. This is just a continuation of that flight. I think I got 4 or 5 loops around the basement here after that crash, and yeah, now we're going to see a 650. This is just way too heavy. I mean, you can see I'm already down to like 3.5 volts, and I haven't even left the chair. It's too much battery for this little light quad. I think the all-up weight is almost 60 grams, something close to that. It's really quite a bit for such a small quad. So I think I just bring it right back and set it down. I don't think I fly anymore after this, just because it's already down near 3.4 volts. This is the 300, and like I said, this was the second best performer out of the 3 packs. This is also on the 2035. After this, I go down prop sizes, not up. I go down to 1636s. But this little guy, it worked as well. It's just not. It's not enough battery to really do much flying with. It's definitely not a 2-minute. No matter what I did, I couldn't get 2 minutes out of this quad. And there's really not much point. If you can't fly for at least 2 minutes, there's really not much point in it. And you'll see, I'll set it down here. Finally, I just switched it out. I switched the props up again. These little blue guys are from Beta FPV, I think. They're the 1636s, and they were okay at first, and this is on 650 milliamp hour. So I'm flying you know, a big heavy battery on these props, and it's still just, it's not enough. It spun them faster. I was able to do more with the RPM to help keep it in the air. It's a little more controllable. So I think if I go down in size on the frame and run this prop on a 450, it'll be a whole lot better. And I actually had to stop flying after this pack just because the the screws had fallen out of the bottom of a couple of motors, and one of them was cocked sideways, so I needed to kind of take care of that before I could fly anymore. But anyway, that's it for the flight video. The Creampuff was a fun little project I did just to kind of play around with the 1S sort of, I don't want to say performance oriented quads, because the Creampuff frame itself is kind of older. The more modern whoops are definitely much better performing than this will ever be. So you know, it was fun to play with, but in the end, it's just I don't think it's as good as the Tiny Hawk. Even it's definitely not as good as like the Meteor 65 or the Mobula 6. So if you have a choice between, you know, build it yourself whoop, or you know, you know, something like this, a micro like this, versus something like that you can pick up that's sort of a bind and fly, I definitely recommend going the bind and fly route, just because this was fun. I had a great time building it, but it's just not an awesome performer. So if you want a quad that's going to be a good performer, definitely stick to something like a Tiny Hawk, or the Mobula 6, or the Meteor 65, or just about any of the current recent brushless whoops on Betaflight 4 or 4.1, and you'll be happy with those. They perform amazingly well. They fly so much better than these. I should have done a comparison video, but I haven't really got into that yet. So we'll probably see some more video, some Tiny Hawk video coming up soon. I've got a couple of ideas for improvements, and yeah, we'll hope you'll keep watching and keep checking out the builds I've been doing. Thanks.